Hello, it's Maggie the Cheshire Crafter here. I'm going to show you today how to make some wooden ornaments into decoupage Christmas decorations to give as gifts. I've created trees and a village. Let me show you how I did it. Saturday night and I'm watching Strictly on the telly, and what I'm wanting to do is some lap tray watching the telly crafting, and I like little fiddly things when I'm doing that. So I'm going to use some of the items that I bought in my recent shopping hauls. So I have my cork-backed ruler from the range, the tissue paper that was purchased from the works, the little Burr Basics. This is Papermania, Docrafts Papermania. I purchased these yesterday in Hobbycraft, and I have some ModPodge just in a bowl here. Now, I'm going to have to get into these tiny pieces, the tiny holes here. So I've got a few utensils to help me to do that. I've got a scalpel to cut the tissue paper, scissors, 2 pairs of scissors, and I've got the seam ripper, and I'm hoping that that tiny edge of the seam ripper can actually help poke out some of those holes. And to apply the ModPodge, I'm going to use one of these silicone brushes. I bought these in a pack of 5, and I'm hoping that it won't damage the tissue paper. So the best way to do it is to apply a little ModPodge to the wood itself, and you only need a tiny amount. I'm finding that it's going on very well with these silicone brushes. I don't want to get too much logged into those holes. I don't want to clog the holes up with glue. So you only need a very small amount. It only just needs to be tacky. And then I've prepared the paper, and I'm going to press this onto the upside down paper just in the blue section. So I'm not actually trying to touch the tissue. I'm just hoping that it will dry flat. And then I'm going to leave that now, like the others, to dry flat. Once the glue's dried, the next step is to use an emery board. I've got just a tiny piece here, and I'm going to just use an emery board just to get those edges off. Just be very, very gentle. I'm very close to the camera here, aren't I? Let's see if I can do it away. I'm just going to be very, very gentle, just going across, and you'll find that the tissue comes away easily. Not quite there yet. It needs to go through all the fibres. And this is quite an old piece of emery board I've got. Can you see how it's actually taken through those fibres? And now I've got a clean edge. So next we need to create the holes for the windows, the heart feature at the top, and the doorway. And the best way to do it is to turn it over and do one thing at a time. So with the seam ripper, I'm just going to apply a tiny bit of glue inside. Just trying to do it on camera so that you can see. Tiny bit of glue just on the inside of the door frame, and then clean your seam ripper. So take the glue off your seam ripper and then turn the house over, and we're going to poke through and then just push it so that the glue will grab on the inside. Now, if you've got glue on your seam ripper at this point, all you're going to do is bring your tissue back through with you. So you don't want to do that, do you? So let's try again. We want it as neat as we can get it. Doesn't matter if it comes through on the back. There, now we've got that general shape. Now repeat that with all the pieces. And now we just need to put blue tissue on the reverse of this house, and I'm going to do it in the same way that I did the front, and then sand the edges. And so for the decoupage papers, I'm going to use my tried and tested ones I've used for many years. These are a Docrafts Papermania. It's At Christmas by Lucy Cromwell range. These are designer papers, and as you can see, there are the most beautiful designs in this. And I've used this for many years for card making. These small prints are brilliant for decoupage in smalling fiddly pieces. And then these are the 2 packs that I bought from the works. These 2 paper pads, I think they're about £2 each, but if we flick through this one, we've got large, they're 6-inch pieces. And if you have a small print like that, it's ideal for small decoupage work. That's very pretty. So that one's called Christmas Night. This one is Santa Claus is Coming to Town. And not only are they nice prints, but they're small, they're interesting. They're good quality papers. It's really nice, isn't it? Good quality papers. And ideal for the type of work that I want to do now. I felt that the blue tissue paper was a little bit boring, so I started adding some gold for roofs. And then when I went to do the houses, I decided to do the roofs in a contrasting colour, and that worked much better. As you can see, when I've done the back, I can just do one piece over the back, but taking the time and effort to do the roofs just adds that little bit of added interest, I felt. This one with the houses on was just fortuitous. I then went round the edge with them all with liquid chrome so that they will shine. Even the plain blue will shine against a Christmas tree. Look how shiny that is. This is before they've been varnished. I found these packs of wooden laser cut decorations. They're obviously trees. There's plenty of area that can take a decoupage paper. 4 designs in the pack, and they're £3, so that makes them 75p each. They're on a piece of twine, which I may or may not decide to change. The good thing about these is they're slimline, so if you're going to put something in with a Christmas card, this sort of thing is ideal for that because they're lightweight. They won't add much to your postage costs, and they're a nice little treat if you're just going to give somebody just a little handmade gift. I've started with this tree, and I've realised that I don't have to put the same paper on the front as on the back. So I've started just by drawing round this, and I've chosen for it one of these papers, which is this design, pine cones and baubles, and then this little brown one that's got little trees and little parcels on it. I'm going to do the same on both. Draw around it just with an ink pen and then cut it out. Just be mindful if your paper has an orientation to it. You need to make sure it's upright and you've got it the right way up. The last thing you want is those trees and those little baskets and stockings hanging upside down. So make sure you get it the right way up as you're drawing around it. Just press it on flat and allow it to dry. I can go around it first of all with a pair of scissors and then sand it with the emery board. I'm going to use my scalpel, my craft knife, scalpel to actually push out these internal areas, and just make sure that you don't get glue inside this space, because that's where your hanger is going to go. You don't want it glued up. Trim as close as you can with a pair of scissors to get rid of that excess paper, but don't. Then repeat the process on the back with the second choice of paper. Now, I've done these double-sided, so they're brown on one side, orange on the other, apart from these. You can actually just leave them as they are, leave them matte, and then just re-add the strings. But I'm actually going to varnish them, and I'm going to add ribbon. And the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to coat the sides of them silver. And I'm going to do that using this Molotov liquid chrome mirror effect silver pen. So they'll actually shine on the side. You get a little bit of a rustic look, but you get a really good shine from that liquid chrome. If you don't have the liquid chrome, you could just paint these with any chalk paint or acrylic paint, I think. Anything that you can paint on wood, you can do on the edge, or you can just choose to leave them as you can choose to, or you can just leave them as wood. Can't get my words out, can I? That looks a bit more like a village, doesn't it? Now I'm going to varnish these. I have them on a flat surface. I have them on one of these whiteboard magnetic trays. I need to varnish them both sides, and to do that I'm going to use this Wilko's, which is Wilkinson's Ultra Tough Quick Dry Varnish. Dries within an hour. They need I would say at least 4 coats each side, and I'm going to apply the varnish with my silicone brush and then leave to dry flat. I've applied 3 coats of varnish on either side of these, and I'm now going to add a ribbon to hang. I've got this festive paper ribbon. I bought this in the works, or just some very thin satin ribbon, about 6 inches, and tie it through. And I'm going to have it so that the houses will drape. What was very dull before with the little blue houses with tissue paper now almost looks like enamel. Very pleased with that. I've attached some twine to the houses so that they'll hang really well. Not only will they shine in the light, but the light will shine through them, which is particularly effective on a Christmas tree.